Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you guys my September wrap up. Now for the month of September, I was planning on reading like 8 books I think, but I only finished 3, which is great. I think last month I finished like 4 and this month I finished 3, which actually if you look at like the books that I have read, they are 3, but these two, well all of them, these two have 2 novels in each one. So you could say I actually read 7 books this month. No, 5, because I counted this as 2 as well. It has a novella which I did not read, so that's that. Anyway, let's get started. Now for this month, I am definitely a lot more satisfied with my reading because I actually did sit down and read. Still a lot slower than I usually would read, but still getting my life together, sort of still in a slump, but we are working on that. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at my Goodreads and I realized I have not marked a position finished because I was planning on marking it as finished if I decide to read a novella, which I had decided not to. Anyway, let's get started. So the first book, I just read the whole series for this month. I actually started, I believe I started Consequences. No. I finished it this month. Hold on. Let me double check that because holy crap, I'm a mess. 1 second. Okay, yes. So I did finish Lux Beginnings. Did I say Consequences? I finished Lux Beginnings early this month and I rated this a 4 stars, well, more of a 3.5 stars. I really did enjoy reading this book. It was a lot of fun. It's fast-paced. It's a fast read. So in this book, we have Obsidian and Onyx, the first 2 books in the Lux series. Again, they're short and they're also really fast-paced and a fast read and they're just fun, and so I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I liked it. I don't really have much to say about this. If you guys didn't know, where have you been? This is Jennifer L. Armentrout's Alien fantasy paranormal young adult series. It was popular like a few years ago, and if you guys didn't know, I prefer to binge read books series rather than wait for each book to come out each year because I tend to forget stuff. So I did not get into this series back then. I think I tried reading Obsidian. I didn't finish it, or I feel like I only read like the first 5-6 chapters, and after that I just didn't get back into it. I enjoyed it, but at the time I was just not feeling it. Anyway, I finished this. I really enjoyed first 2 books, fast-paced. I mean, I wouldn't be reading the rest of the series if I didn't enjoy it even a little bit. I mean, it's a 3.5 star read. It's not bad, but it definitely could have been better. Like at this point in my life, in my reading taste as well, it's a fun book. I enjoyed it. Maybe a few years ago I would rate it a 4, maybe even 5 stars, but right now it's more of a 3.5 stars for me. Still really enjoyed it, as I said. And then of course I picked up Lux Consequences, which is Opal and Origin in separate books. So this is another 2 books. Again, we're just following Kat and Damon, as well as Dee and the other characters from the first book, first 2 books. And this time we really did see it get bigger and, you know, mean a lot more because we are talking about aliens, and of course the government is knows about the aliens and are aware, and their role in how the aliens live and are able to exist and coexist with the rest of the humanity. They're also, you know, aware and are in control of that, sort of. So the consequences here are just a lot bigger, and, you know, there's a lot more people involved and a lot more things involved. It's worldwide. There's so many things going on. So I again rated this a 4 stars, more of a 2.5 stars. Still a really enjoyable read. I enjoyed all the action and the government stuff, the politics. I really enjoyed that, and we got to see a glimpse of sort of the Luxon's government, and we just get sort of a glimpse. Like we know that there's like a government within the Luxon series that are living, Luxon people that are the Luxon that are living with us. Why can't I? And so the last book is Lux Opposition, and this one is definitely a lot more action packed. Things are just happening one after the other, and things are just building up. That sort of twist that we saw, or like the extra like conflict thing that was introduced here, I definitely predicted when people started like saying certain stuff about this character. I was just like, oh, maybe I think she's yeah, she is. So it wasn't a surprise. Like I knew it was, and it was fun to just see how the story plays out, and people are like trying to figure out, or like don't really think much of what was happening. That was sort of funny to read. And I wish we definitely got to know more of the Luxon. I feel like we only know of the alien Luxon from Damon, Dee, Andrew, and Ash, and Adam, and which are the aliens that are living where Katie moved in the first book. And they're a small, like, there's literally only 5 of them, and definitely that's not all of the Luxon. They do not represent the Luxon. And we were introduced to the fact that there were like factions between or within the Luxon people, or the Luxon that are living in the earth, and they have like different agendas, or like different goals, and different like just ways of living. And we didn't really get to see that at all. Just a glimpse. We were told about it, and we kind of saw it with how everything played out, but like still, like, we definitely could have gotten a lot more. So I was just sort of sad about that. Like I wanted to learn more about these Luxon and how they live their lives. The different kind of variables that were introduced in Lux consequences, we definitely got to know that. But there's still a lot more in this world that I wish we had explored. That we definitely could have explored. And of course the Aram as well, which is the other alien race that are pretty much the enemy of the Luxon. They're enemies. Like Luxon are light alien people, light aliens, and Aram are the darkness aliens. And they're opposite ends. They're enemies. So we know about the Aram in the first books. Like already in the first book, that's like the main conflict, the Aram. And we definitely see the intricacies of the possible intricacies of the relationship between the Luxon and the Aram as well, but we didn't get to explore that. So I still really enjoyed this book, the whole series, but there was a lot that we could have explored and gotten deeper into, and I wish we focused a lot more on them than the relationship between Kate, Kat, and Damon, which I liked, but it's okay. I'm not like I'm going down with this ship kind of thing. I get it. They're together. They love each other. But there was a lot more that are going on around them that I wish we just focused on those other things. Like I get that it's a romantic paranormal YA fantasy, and pretty much the main focus would be the relationship. But I don't know. I felt like I wanted more from the story. Like I like them, but they're not. I'm not seeing more depth and more just more that we are introduced in the series that we know we could have gotten of. Am I making sense? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I really like the relationship and the romance between the two of them. I liked it. But because we are introduced to these other conflicts and variables and other stuff that are happening around these two, we are introduced to the fact that we could have gotten a lot more. That this is not just the two of them. Like we're in a bubble of Kat and Damon in the story, and I just wanted to get out of it because I can see from inside the bubble that there's a lot more going on and a lot more things that we could explore and just delve deeper into. So I wish we've gotten that. But as for what it is, I really like. So yeah, that is my September reading, which is pretty much focused on this. I have started a second book. I have started a book, but I have not gotten too deep into it. I started Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I will include this in my October TBR, and I feel like I will enjoy this. I like a good mystery novel, but sometimes mysteries can be more of a miss than a hit for me because they amp up, or they do these kind of little itty bitty clues, and you just know, you already guessed how it's gonna end or the twist. It's not surprising anymore. Anyway, that is it for my September wrap up. I will be changing things a lot for October, which you will see in my October TBR. So yeah, which I'm going to film right after this. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you on my next one. You can check out my other videos right here. Bye!